broadcasting every step of the way. We'll be in 1803. Let's go!
Trail broadcast recording live in Washington, D.C. with Thomas Jefferson. Today he says he's making the deal with French leader Napoleon. Napoleon was hesitant, but he needed money for war against Britain, so he sold the land for $15 million. The U.S. finally finished the Louisiana Purchase. Over to you, Ella.
As you can see, the Indian Removal Act is happening right behind me. We will travel back in time to this era. So, the Indian Removal Act was when the Americans removed the Indians from their land. They were afraid that the Indians would attack them or claim their land. They began to move. The Indians were forced to move to Mississippi or Florida, which later became known as Oklahoma.
I'm going to talk about manifest destiny. It is the idea that a nation such as U.S. must expand until it fills up certain natural geographic limits.
I'm Tanner. These are some of the trails that lead west. First up is the California Trail. It's to get some of that rich money. And then we have the Old Spanish Trail. It's to escape the whack Mexican government. And then Oregon is for the uncrowded land. Santa Fe is for great profit. There is amazing. And the Mormon Trail is to escape persecution, which people get a lot of debt for that. Anyway, Ocean Road.
Here, and I'm going to share some of the individuals that helped with the U.S. expansion. First, it's Thomas Jefferson. He helped the people and defended the Louisiana Purchase. And Sacagawea, she was a Shoshone woman and occupied Lewis and Clark expedition from the northern plains to the Rocky Mountains to the Pacific Ocean and back. She was a great translator. And I'll share you one more, and it's Daniel Boone. He helped cut and blaze through a trail to the west through Cumberland Gap and make a path so you can get to the frontier. Now over to Ella.
Oh my gosh. James Monroe was the 5th president of the United States. Monroe was the last president who was a founding father. Lewis and Clark was an explorer with Clark on an expedition to set out from St. Louis in 1804 to learn about the lands and peoples of Louisiana Territory. Well, what?
I'm going to tell you about what the country looked like at this time. There was a lot of empty land for animals to roam around, and in some parts there was rocky mountains. So I think that's pretty much it. Now I'm going to hand it over to Tanner for why the early pioneers wanted to travel west.
And these are the reasons why early pioneers sought to travel west and expand west. They usually wanted uncrowded territory because, as you know, people get too crowded up and they wanted some elbow room. Now over to Ella with the hardships, challenges, and struggles that were faced during their
These
travels.
are the hardships, challenges, and struggles that the early pioneers faced. They faced famine, which is hunger. They faced illness, disease, and then also Indians. Indians would attack them. So now over to Peyton.
Here, and these are the effects of the westward expansion on Native Americans and Indian tribes during this time. Some of the effects were that 5 major tribes got moved out of their land because Thomas Jefferson and other colonists had moved them out of their land so they could have more elbow room. The cause of this, less Indian tribes but more Americans. If this had not happened, America would not be the same today. Now over to you, Drew.